John goes back to those foundations again, I suspect, because foundations are usually the most plain feature of any building. Like, nobody ever looks at the foundations. Oh, what a cool building Frank Lloyd Wright built. Let's go down and look at the foundations. Said nobody ever. Architects may study it to try and figure out how he cantilevered out a room over open space, but that's a different matter altogether. We're not looking at it in terms of its beauty. We're looking at it in terms of its functionality. Here, it's a thing of beauty. Look at verse 19. The foundations of the wall of the city were adorned with every kind of jewel. And then if you're reading on, you'll notice that he names all of these jewels. And since I can't pronounce like 90% of them, I'm not going to read it. Now, nobody knows the significance of all of this adornment of these foundations. I read a bunch of commentaries. They all speculated this is what this stone means, and that's what that stone means. I don't think it means any of that. I have no idea what it actually means, but I suspect that there's something to do with just the radiant beauty of God putting things on display for everybody to see. And this is just the foundation. Every color, by the way, of every stone that you've ever thought of seeing that's a precious stone is there represented in the adornment of these foundations. And this is just the foundation. Precious stone upon precious stone in all colors with all the facets that we would ascribe to precious stones. Look at verse 21. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls, each of the gates made of a single pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold like transparent glass. So each gate, by the way, let me point this out, is one pearl. That is the mother of all oysters. Huge pearls. And John is doing his best to describe it, but I imagine what he's seeing is beyond his language, his capacity to be able to express it. So let me point this out, because I think this is where we get our second application in all of this. The way into this city is through a pearl. And Jesus tells a parable about this, about a man who found a pearl of great value, and once you discover it, you would sell everything that you have in order to possess it. I think that's why the gate is made of pearl, because this is the only way in to possess this pearl of great price. And who is the pearl of great price but Jesus Christ, who loved you so much that he died for you, so that you can live here in this city that's being described. That's the pearl you give up everything for. So let me ask you, what are you holding on to? I mean, what would keep you from entering this city? And please know that it is only through Jesus Christ that you can be saved. That's not my words, that's his words. I want to hold him up as a great teacher. You can't. He's not a great teacher if he says this and it's not true. He can be a madman, in which case we're all foolish for being here. But he can't be a great teacher. It is only through Jesus Christ that we can be saved. It's only through the way, truth, and the life that we can enter into this city. That's the pearl, the realization of what he accomplished through his work on the cross. And for all eternity, every person passing through this gate into this city will be, the gate will be a reminder to them of that sacrifice. That's why it's a pearl. A reminder that Jesus is the great high priest who sacrificed himself for you. And because of his being that great high priest, that's why we see what is ultimately the greatest omission in this celestial city in verse 22. And I saw no temple in this city, for its temple is the Lord God, the Almighty, and the Lamb. See that? The temple is omitted. There is no temple. And I point it out because the temple was central to the original city of Jerusalem. In fact, even the millennial city had a temple in it. And so this is a glaring omission if we don't understand that Jesus, from the cross onward, makes his home with us. His temple is in you. And so there is no need for a temple because he is with us, present with us, continually with us. Because the Lord resides in the city as the whole city, which means he is in through us, magnifying himself through us in our transparency. Everyone will have direct, unmediated communion with God because God will permeate every nook and cranny of this city. Throughout the whole transparent city of God, he is revealed wholly and completely. Verse 23, and the city has no need of sun or moon to shine on it, for the glory of God gives it light, and its lamp is the Lamb. There's no sun, there's no moon, for the glory of God is all the light needed. The Lamb is the light of the world. A lamp way more than a lamp unto my feet, like his word is. Just imagine the light reflecting and glittering off of all of these stones and through these transparent gold surfaces and through the clear jasper, diamond, whatever that is, walls. Just think of the color literally pouring out of this city into all the earth. A city 1,380 miles high. It is unbelievable. You just can't imagine it. So this city, built for all of the people who love God, will be full of the glory of God. It will be a city of glory. And God's glory is going to pour from it. In fact, it will ultimately light the whole world. And it will be a city of peace as well. As we continue in verse 24, the glory of God is shining throughout the city, and out of it, by its light will the nations walk, and the kings of the earth will bring their glory into it. And its gates will never be shut by day, and there will be no night there. Did you get the reference? The gates will never be shut by day, and there will be no night, which means the gates will never shut, ever. Ever, never, never, ever, never, ever, never. They will bring into it the glory and the honor of the nations. Wait, the nations? Who are these people? And what's that all about? Where do these nations come from? Are they outside of the city? Are there people inside of the city? Are there people outside of the city? That verse actually creates those questions in the average reader's mind, and it trips them up. Is there one group that's reigning in the city that's perfected, and there's another group that's not, and they're outside of the city? Well, no. There's no need for the language to force us into this. There's a dichotomy. See, we think of in terms of dichotomy because our whole life is lived in dichotomy, sin versus glory. And there's no need for that verbiage in chapter 1 for any of us to say, oh, this is a different group of people living in this new earth. We presume division. There's no division in this place, none whatsoever. So these are the same people because there's no division. These are the same people both inside the city and outside of the city. So let's rewind a little bit. So I need to do a little work for you to be able to see this, I think. Remember that we saw all those who have not trusted in Jesus were judged at the great white throne. All of them that didn't trust in Jesus. And all of them got the eject button. They're not present on this place. But all of those who are in the Lamb's Book of Life are now here. And verse 25 verifies that because the gates are never shut. Even though verse 27 says nothing unclean will ever enter it, nor anyone who does what is detestable or false, but only those who are written in the Lamb's Book of Life. See, nothing unclean enters this city because only those who honor the true King of Kings are in or on this new heaven and new earth. Listen. What happened in the Garden of Eden will never happen again. What happened in the Garden of Eden will never happen again, which means there is peace, complete and absolute peace. There's internal peace. That's why you'll be okay with transparency. There's nothing to hide. That's internal peace. And there's peace with God because sin has been completely and totally dealt with. There's nothing detestable or false in this place. But there will be constant in and out traffic. That's why the gates are always open. People are going about living their lives on this new earth. Okay, but if the city is so glorious, why would anybody leave it? It's hard to imagine, I agree. But I believe it's because the whole earth will once again be for the glory of God, just as it was in the beginning. And God's glory is going to shine out of this city, and the gates are always open so that those who are going out from the city can bring back more glory back into the city, back to God through these gates, through what Jesus Christ has done. And ultimately, that's what verse 24 says. By its light will the nations walk, and the kings of the earth will bring their glory into it. And its gates will never shut by day, and there will be no night. The nations will bring their glory back to the city. The nations, which is us. All of the peoples of the earth that have been saved through the blood of Jesus Christ, which represents people from every walk of life. Every nationality will be present in this place. And so that's all that it means, is that all of those people that are saved, they go out from the city, will get the opportunity to go out and do what they were designed to do. And they will work and they will accomplish things. And all of their accomplishments won't be for their own glory. It'll be for the King of Kings. And you'll bring your glory back in and say, look at what I did for the King of Kings. Isn't he awesome that he let me do that? And though these are the people that are going in and out, because we, in the original design of how we were created to do stuff. We were not created to watch screens. Is that shocking? That's because you're all not teenagers. We were created to do stuff. Back in Genesis 1, we were created to have dominion over the earth. And in Genesis 2, we were commissioned to tend the earth. And all of that is pre-fall, which means that was God's design for all of us. Our purpose pre-fall was to work the earth. And I see no reason why that would change in the glorious future. Why would we suddenly only be city dwellers when God's original intent for us was gardening and animal husbandry and shaping the world? And so we will all have a residence inside the city because that's where we belong. But I think we will also get to go and be what God intended us to be out there in this new earth. Maybe we'll have a summer cottage on a farm, or maybe we'll have a little cabin in the woods, but no beach houses. Remember, there's no ocean, so no beach houses. Sorry. But do you see what this means for us ultimately in our ultimately in our lives? Like, people are always like, oh, heaven sounds so boring. All it's going to be is strumming harps and living on clouds and praising God. It just sounds so dull. No, it won't. And primarily because you'll be around God, and he is far from boring. He's the most engaging presence you will ever experience in your entire life. And then just think about what we just read in terms of the description of the city. I mean, you've got this immense place to explore. I don't know how long that's going to take. But then you will also have creative ability or a nurturing nature or an organizational capacity. Whatever you're gifted in right now, that gifting is going to be magnified exponentially. And you'll be able to use it for the glory of the King of Kings forever. In whatever you choose to invest in. You'll be able to do all the things that you were designed to do and be, and it will all be for the glory of God. There will be, think about this, those of you that feel like you're at a dead-end job or worked a dead-end job most of your life, there will be no dead-end jobs. Zero meaningless work. All of humanity's production, all of our labor will all be to the glory of God, because nothing impure can possibly enter the city. So it won't be for your own glory. And that means that the motivations for your work will all be pure. Just like there will be zero shame, there will also be zero selfishness, which means that you'll be at complete peace within yourself, with the world in which you live. That means every other person around you, and with the God who created you. Right? So internally, horizontally, and vertically, there will be complete peace, which means it will be absolutely, utterly, and finally peaceful. And when all of the motivations agree, internal, external, physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, present, future, all of your timeline, all of it, when all of that is in line, there is complete and total peace. And that's what we will be. That's why it'll be heaven for you. What an incredible privilege it will be to work in this world, to live in this city, and to honor the King of Kings for all eternity. What a privilege and an honor it will be.